Hey y'all, I'm Derek and welcome back to 31 Days of Found Horror. So today we have a short movie again. It's called Dance with the Devil. I'm not exactly sure what to expect. With a name like Dance with the Devil, I'm expecting maybe a Joker movie. Who knows? Well, let's get started. What the hell was that? Okay, so the providence is that a guy found a bunch of recordings in his attic or barn or something like that, and they all go from the 1940s to 2009. And the first scene is 8mm film from 1959, although it looks strangely like digital film that's been aged to look like 8mm film from 1959. And it's a random house, there's a dead guy on the floor, and there's a man with a sickle. End scene. Then it cuts to 2009 and there's two guys in a car looking into getting a property. But then, cuts to 1960s 8mm film, which obviously looks like digital film that's been aged to look like it's from the 1960s. And it's a guy in a chair and all you see is his legs. So we get the feel that he's supposed to be hanging himself. But it's so obviously not 1960s. And he's obviously not hanging himself. And then, 2009 again, there's a bunch of kids sitting around smoking out of a hookah, talking about the house. And then the realtor shows up, and the realtor looks surprisingly high schoolish, and says he'll meet them at the location. And then they ask, is it weird that the realtor is going to meet them at the location? All these kids acting like adults is just adorable. It really is. So they go to the house, and the house itself is quoted as a fixer-upper. It's about like a fixer-upper as a garbage dump is a tent. It ain't worth the fixing uppin'. It's probably worth more tearing downin'. So it's raining, they're in the house, they're looking around, and there's acting, and then they hear music. And they go see the music. And the music leads them to a satanic altar. So the realtor disappeared, and now he's reappeared. And he's wearing a Howdy Doody mask. And he has an axe! And all I could think of is, why are you still filming? Drop the damn camera and run. And then there's smoke for some reason. I literally wrote down, smoke bomb! And so they run back to the car, but somehow the realtor got there before them, and he's driving off with their car. Oh no! So it's 1979. I know this because each shot has a little caption at the bottom that tells you the date and what's the medium of the film. And it's B-roll of kids at a wedding, and they say it's the 70s, but the outfits are really early 60s. I know because I have pictures of my great-grandmother in those same outfits. And it goes from these pictures of a wedding to a house on fire. And all I could think was, art! This is artistic. Believe in the art. 2009. Kid with the camera's like, is it snowing? Yeah, it's snowing. There's an inch of it on the ground. And then there's a scream! And you see the Howdy Doody killer. Then we hear laughing. And then there's acting. They run into a friend. And the friend runs away. And the friend gets killed. Bye, friend. Instead of sticking to the road, trying to follow the road back to civilization and where there are people not trying to kill you, he just runs off into the middle of the woods. Stick to the road. You can stay by the road, stay hidden by the road, but follow the road. The road will get you home. All of a sudden, it's a 1989 interview with Anton LaVey? Why? 2009. Guy with the camera is struggling to get through the woods back to the house. Why are you going back to the house? And moreover, why are you still filming and talking the entire time? Gets to the house and there's a truck pulling up in the driveway with someone hogtied in the back. The guy driving the truck gets out and goes to the house, and the guy with the camera tries to steal the truck, but like a proper motorist, The truck guy took his keys. People come out of the house and start chasing the guy trying to steal the truck, and he goes back into the woods. And then cut to 1999 for some reason, because we needed even more eras in this. And there's a guy running through the woods, and he's attacked apparently by juggalos. Swing, 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 chop, chop, chop. And he runs into the house. It's the exact same house, so I reckon he dead. End of that scene. And honestly, I thought that was the end of the movie, but wait, it cuts back to 2009 again. Travel exhausts me, and time travel confuses me. So we're back in 2009. He's running through the woods, and he sees footprints on the ground, and he decides to follow them, even though he knows there's a bunch of people around trying to kill him. Well, the footprints lead to his car, but he doesn't have the key. But he finds the spare. And I should mention that it's nighttime at this point, because he turns on the light, and there's the juggalos ready to swing, 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 chop, chop, chop. Well, he turns on the car and starts to nope out of there, but he doesn't check the back seat. Because why would you when it's an obvious trap? So he immediately gets out of the car and runs away. And then we're in 1989, and it's just a picture of some legs that are bound with rope. That's the entire scene. And then back to 2009, and the kid is still running through the woods, being chased by the juggalos, swing, 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 chop, chop, chop. And this is either the luckiest kid in the world or the world's dumbest killers, because for some odd reason, there's so many of them ready to swing, 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 chop, 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 and no one is swinging or chopping. And through this entire time, the kid keeps talking about how scared he is. Trying to tell us how to feel because he can't do it through the film. Emote through the film. Emote through the film, not through the mouse. And he gets to a tree farm. It's not supposed to be a tree farm. It's supposed to be in the middle of the woods, but the trees are far too even to not be a tree farm, and he comes across a house that has moss on the roof and broken windows. Dude, what you need to do is stop filming at this point and just run. Get out of there. Honestly, just keep going and you'll hit something. Don't hide in houses, because obviously you're just going to get trapped. Well, he goes into the house. Juggalos are there, so he gets out of the house, and he's still being followed by juggalos, and the juggalos attack him with a tire iron. But instead of engaging us with this scene, it cuts to 1979, where there's a bedroom scene and there's a knife. That's it. Then it cuts back to 2009. He's beaten with the tire iron, but he wakes up in a trunk, and he's still recording for some reason. Why? So he's in the trunk, but there's an emergency pull that he pulls. Then he runs back into the woods, and that's where that footage completely ends. And then we cut to modern day, where the guy who apparently found all this footage is now recording. And there's sounds like this guy is throwing up. It's supposed to be his hands covered in blood, but it's obviously blackberry jam. And then he passes out, and then he wakes up and he's in a box, and the box is being set on fire. And it cuts to a shot outside, which makes no sense, because where's all this footage coming from? And it's outside the box, and it's a huge party, and people are putting the box on a bonfire. So it keeps cutting between the bonfire shots and the shots inside. And the guy in the box isn't screaming like he's in pain, he's screaming like he's constipated. Like, "Argh! Argh!" Then it cuts to pictures of a burned corpse. And then the credits roll, and then I realize, oh, this is another Ken Collins movie. You know, the one with the rake, the one where the kid wouldn't shut up? Same guy. Same problem, he wouldn't shut up. Honestly, this was a WTF kind of movie. I don't know how to feel about it. It felt like he was trying to be artistic, and he was trying to be an auteur. But it was too convoluted. The characters weren't believable. The camera characterization didn't make any sense. Once again, they're filming when they wouldn't be filming in real life, so there's no point for most of this to exist. Okay, I may be a little bit mad, because honestly, it just raised far too many questions than it answered. I don't know why it was called Dance with the Devil. It should have been called Dance with the Juggalos. because there were a lot more juggalos than there was devil in this movie. Have you seen this movie before? If so, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought about it. And of course, if you want to see this movie, okay, it'll be in the description. But that's it for this episode of 31 Days of Found Horror. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. And come back tomorrow for another found footage nightmare.